YouTube. What is poppin'? To
Orpheus. So Orpheus is a DC character that was created back on October's word are Dwayne Turner and Alex Simon. You see, what's interesting about the character of Orpheus is that Orpheus is a crime fighter of Gotham City and he's part of the Bat family, but he wasn't trained by Batman. And for all those who do not know, most of the time when you're part of the Bat family or a sidekick of Batman, you get trained by Batman and then he puts you on a costume and throw you out there to help him fight crime. In Orpheus' case, he was already a dancer and then he ended up training in martial arts, and then he ended up getting funded by this secret organization that we do not know their name. We just know that they were a secret organization that helped funded him and giving him his high-tech armor and his stealth suit. Batman also uses him to infiltrate Gotham street gangs to control them from within. So those are one of the things that has happened. So we do know that he wanted to avoid getting beaten up all the time because he was actually originally just a kid born and raised in Gotham City, and he ends up practicing kung fu. Besides just practicing kung fu, he would, like I said, he was also a dancer, and when he went off to college, he was part of a dance group. And what made him want to become a superhero was that he saw poverty and oppression, brutality across the world. And not only that, he lost several of his closest friends through some of these tragedies. And that's what inspired him to become the hero. But the secret organization was the one that recruited him to become a hero. It actually was not Batman. Batman didn't want him to become a hero because he felt that he was too inexperienced. But the secret organization ends up giving him the high-tech equipment that he needed. And for a while, Orpheus actually operated out of Washington, D.C., not Gotham. He returned to Gotham 5 months after becoming Orpheus, but originally he was out there capturing crime lords and serial killers, and they actually gave him the name Orpheus. But Batman mentions to Orpheus that he heard of them before he arrived in Gotham because, it's Batman. He knows what's going on, when it's going on, whatever. He knows everything about the superhero community. But Orpheus' real name is Gavin King. His mother is a ex-dancer and his father is an ex-soldier, but the secret organization also gave him another code name, which is Brasso Brass, who is a recording. He's part of the entertainment industry, so he records beats and all that, and he's like somebody who records, and he lives in this apartment. You see, one of the things that he's had teamed up with Batman. Now, Batman, like I told y'all earlier, didn't really want him to be a hero because he felt he was too inexperienced, but they did team up to take down a character known as Carl Esterhaus. And if those who don't know, Carl Esterhaus was a character that played somewhat of a prominent role in Batman No Man's Land, is the story arc called, and he played a prominent role, but in this, he ends up becoming a serial killer that kills cops. So they had some form of team ups. They actually fought each other, Orpheus and Batman, and Batman beats him up, obviously, but he earns Batman's respect when he tells Batman he's willing to die for his cause. Because you see, Orpheus is a socially conscious superhero, and one of the things that he had told Batman is that he wants to be a role model to the youths in the streets of Gotham. He also believes that there are not enough black superheroes, and he wants to be that guy that can really inspire black youths to do good instead of commit crimes. Now, there's times when he was accused by some of the thugs or the street hustlers as being an Uncle Tom, but he had one of the best quotes I've ever read, that he protects his people, but he'll take down criminals regardless of their race. And that's one of the things that I think separates him from most other underrated characters, or underrated black characters so far. And another thing about him is that he had that little Spider-Man-ish thing to him, where he cracked jokes in the middle of fighting crime, something that Batman has accused him of in the past, of not taking the job serious, but that was his way of dealing with stress. You see, one of the things that ends up going on with Orpheus is that he meets Nightwing. He met Batman. Obviously, he's met Black Canary, Batgirl, Onyx. He actually ends up, and the Oracle. He also met the Oracle, and actually the Oracle enlists his help to track down some of the members of a organization, and he ends up working with them, but he actually tells her that he does not take orders from Batman. So that's another thing that separates him from the Bat family. And like I said, he doesn't take orders from the Bat family. One of the things that happened to him is that when the Hill Gang leader, Capo Seago, when he's killed in a fight, Batman ends up enlisting Orpheus to take the leadership of the Hill Gang so that he could control them. When a riot starts to a waste treatment plant to the Hill, Orpheus takes control of the situation, but loses to a fight to Tarantula, and he actually kind of gets beat up on that situation. And Batman, because he lost that fight, Batman enlists the help of the assassin known as Onyx, who ends up becoming his bodyguard. And they stage a fight between Onyx and Orpheus, and they end up fighting Batman and Batgirl, and that ends up getting his reputation as a big time player in Gotham City's underground. And one of the things that ends up happening to him, and it's like tragedy strikes, is that around the time Batman was going by the name Matches Malone, who was like a big time gangster, spoiler, without Batman's knowledge, ends up setting a plan in motion that Batman had, and the plan actually required Orpheus, and he was the main part of Batman's plan. Orpheus and Spoiler are talking to each other. Black Mass ends up sneaking up behind the character and slitting his throat and, killing him. And this ends up making him a martyr, and they got like memorials of the character and all that for him. And that's the thing, because what I want to know is, why is it that when you get somewhat of a decent enough character, they kill him off? Man. But like I said, a character that I think that if you revive him, I think you guys will actually like, because he can fight. He had his own apartment. He had his own job. He wasn't heavily reliant on Batman. He actually just worked with the Bat family. And truthfully, if he gets revived, which I hope they do someday, you can put him outside, take him outside of Gotham into, again, Washington, D.C. That's where he was originally operating at. They could have kept him there to stand. They should have kept him in Washington, D.C. And just to give y'all some perspective of his equipment, he had a mini cam, a respiratory system, a thermal imaging system, sonic gloves, and a stealth suit. He also used handguns, but the handguns were known to have rubber bullets in them, and he only used them when it was necessary. So I also want y'all to understand that. But the books that I will tell you guys to read if you're interested is Orpheus Rising. That book is the introduction of Gavin. I would tell you to read War Drums and War Games. Those two. War Games is the death of Orpheus, and War Drums is the beginning of to when he tries to take control and be a major player in Gotham's underground. So those are the books that I will recommend you guys to read if you want to know more about the character. I'm going to end this video. If you made it to the end of the video, I thank you and I appreciate that you listened to the end of this video. Peace out, everyone.